Welcome back, Benchwarmers. The NBA regular season has come to an end.
Now it's time to check out the playoff matchups. But before we can do that, we need to get through the play-in tournament.
Oh, that's right. The SoFi play-in tournament, didn't know it was sponsored, starts tomorrow. We have some pretty good matchups.
Well, let's not waste any more time and jump into it. I'm Corey. It's playoff time.
And I'm Brendan, anybody but Beantown, and this is Arby from the Bench. Before we get started, if you're not already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you never miss any one of the new episodes.
Also, if you could please do us the favor, if you like what you see here, please don't forget to smash that like button.
Smash it for us. Come on, it's free. It's free for you. It's free for us. Helps out the channel a lot more than you probably think.
Hell yeah.
Well, it's been a minute. Thank you, Benchwarmers, for being patient with us. Just had, what do you call that? Life, I guess would be the easiest way to describe it.
Ducks season ending at home with a long homestand. I am officially done for the year until October.
Well, which is good and bad. I mean, good for your work, bad for the Ducks. But you know what? Honestly, fabulous improvement from the previous year. Ended with with a bang. I saw they came back on one game really late in overtime or something like that pretty recently. So you know what? Positive movement is good. Although not in the playoffs this year, positive movement is good.
We're going in the right direction, as we like to say in the building, and the energy was different this year, so I'm excited for next. But speaking of energy, let's talk about playoff energy for NBA. Let's go.
Bro, it started yesterday, dude. I don't know if you got to watch it, but that Clippers-Warriors game
so
82, basically, so good. Like, literally, the whole season is done. And there's 4 teams that don't know where they're going to be playing until this game is over.
I know. I noticed that the West. I mean, they started all the West games at the same time, but the other ones just ended quicker because they got out of hand. That Warrior game came down to the wire, and like you said, we're sitting there in the balance of like, okay, who's going where? What plane am I getting on? Get this game over with.
It's crazy, but it was a good game. Playoff intensity, like you mentioned. Jimmy buckets, playoff Jimmy doing work over in Golden State. Steph could not miss in the fourth quarter in overtime, but Kawhi and James, bro, were just too much. And I don't know what was with the let's run the game tying shot for Buddy Hield instead of the greatest shooter of all time. But whatever. It is what it is.
It was a little strange, actually, because I do remember them doing the play, and I'm thinking, who's coming? Buddy? And I don't think he was on the court for like the 5 minutes.
Most of
so like he was dead cold on the bench. I don't know what they were thinking.
Steph hadn't missed it. He missed one shot in the fourth quarter in overtime, and it was a layup because it hit the rim. He was under the rim. That was the only shot he missed. Every three he took, he made. So, whatever. Honestly, it worked out for the Lakers in the end. We don't have to play the Warriors with the 6 seed. Now, that doesn't mean I'm saying that the Timberwolves are easier. No. I'm just saying Stephen Curry is Stephen Curry, and playoff Jimmy is a real thing.
Yes, absolutely. They're scary and and they could still face them beyond the first round, but I didn't want that to be the first round, like the worst matchup possible, because the star power would be there because too much. So I'm glad we got Minnesota, but again, not an easy team to match up against as well.
No. But before we get to who the Lakers are playing, let's start with that play-in tournament that the Warriors find themselves in now because the Clippers were able to pull off the road. That's the other thing too. They were at home, bro.
Yeah,
they were at home. It's not like they were in LA. I mean, not that it's that big of a difference. I mean, there's Warriors fans everywhere, but you were at your own Chase Center and you still couldn't take care of business. So, on Tuesday, there's 2 games. Who's playing tomorrow for the 15th?
So tomorrow is going to be both the 7 and 8 seeds playing each other on the East and West. So the first game is going to be obviously the Eastern Conference. It's going to be the Atlanta Hawks at the Orlando Magic, and whoever wins that game will go on to face the defending champion Boston Celtics. Yikes.
Well, I can't wait for that 7-8 negative standings matchup between the Hawks, the mighty Atlanta Hawks, and the scary Orlando Magic. They're literally. I mean, this honestly could be a really close game to see who's going to get swept by the Celtics, but I think it'll be pretty boring. That's the sucky thing about the East right now. Honestly, it's been this way for some time now, but the East is just bad. Yeah, okay, so the 7-8 then Hawks Magic. How do you see that one playing out? Just give me like a quick hitters.
I think I'm with Magic. I think that Paolo Banchero is going to be too much to handle in the paint. I know Atlanta's got Capella, but he's old and not the same in the paint. And they do have Trae Young, but for some reason, I'm not huge on Trae Young. I feel like his offense is great and he shoots a lot of threes, but he doesn't play great defense. And I feel like Orlando, having made the playoffs last year, has a little bit of experience and is going to build on that to just win this one game. They're at home. And then again, like you said, they're just battling to see who's going to lose to Boston anyway. So get the one win, go to the next round, and then that'll call it a day for Orlando.
Take the broom, call it one. Yeah, I'm with you on Banchero, Wagner. And I just, unless this game is at Madison Square Garden, That's the only place that Ice Tray really shows up. He loves shitting on the Knicks for some reason in their building. It's like, honestly, it's kind of funny to watch, but that's not who they're playing. They're playing the Magic, and I think they kind of got this one. They got Dyson Daniels, Steals leader from this season, but I think that's kind of all they got, and I think it's going to be Magic as well. So okay, so then the 7-8 would be it's Grizzlies Warriors, right? The afternoon game or the evening game?
Yeah, the Warriors will be hosting the Grizzlies, which, I mean, I can't imagine the Grizzlies have anything left in them. I know the Warriors did a lot on Sunday, obviously, in that overtime game and gave a lot of energy out, but they're hosting again. They're at home. Memphis has just been on a downfall. They fired their coach weirdly 3 weeks ago. Not that Denver didn't do it also weirdly a week ago, but Memphis has just been in a weird spot. I think I don't know. There's just something about that team that just doesn't seem to click when they need it the most. They they play great and they're good on scoring on playing offense. I just don't think the defense is going to be there when the game slows down now that we're into playoff mode, especially going against the Warriors, like the veteran Warriors. I don't see the Grizzlies getting past them.
I think one thing, if they could get right, it might help a little bit of their team. Like if Ja Morant could get his murder celebration correct, whether it's guns or the grenade, I think that's kind of really impeding their progress. He's spending more time trying to figure out how he's killing something after he makes a basket than he is making the basket itself. So, I don't know. That team's a mess. And I actually really like Ja Morant, but he's really like just setting himself up in such a bad light lately. I'm just like, bro, I was talking to somebody at work about this. There's plenty of other sports where people celebrate stuff. In fact, people love celebrating in the NFL. You know what they don't bring out onto the field in the NFL? Bazookas and guns and machine guns. You know what they do? They sit in a roller coaster. They go bowling. They do dances. That's what you should do. Think of something fun to do as a celebration. Stop killing people or throwing grenades into the stands. It's honestly obnoxious.
It is weird that they ask you to not do the guns thing, which I get. You've already had gun issues too. Like the actual finger gun action is not that big a deal, but it's because of your previous actions you've already had and you've been suspended for that were gun related that is coming up again. And for them to ask you and then have to fine you because you didn't get it, and then now we go to a different weapon. I'm with you. I don't really care typically, but like if they're asking you not to do that kind of stuff, just go a different route. Pick something fun or weird or stupid instead of possibly a weapon. I know everything comes back to video games and weapons and killing, but we're playing basketball, bro. Just have some kind of weird, fun celebration instead. You know what I mean? It's not that hard.
I'm a gun owner. I'm pro-gun. I'm not even anti-gun. I like guns, but there's a time and a place for them, and it's not the basketball court. So, yeah. Anyways, long tangent. Sorry about that, but I'm with you. Actually, that was my way of saying I think the Warriors take this too. I think they should have won the game last night. Again, I'm glad that they didn't, but I think they're kind of just like, oh, dude, what are we doing? Like, come on, let's just get this sorted. And I think that they kind of clinched that too, or the 7 seed. So,
yeah.
Let's move on then to Wednesday's games. These are the really, really good ones that everyone's super excited for. The 9-10 matchup that everyone's been just thrilled to focus in on. This play-in tournament. Okay, small caveat again. I'm going on tangent here.
Yeah, it's all
the
good.
Play-in tournament is cool to set up a fun ending to the regular season.
Yes.
But the Play-in tournament itself sucks.
Yes and no. I kind of agree with you depending on how far the separation is between like the 9 and the 10. If the 9 seed and the 10 seed are a game and a half away from or game apart at the end of the season and they both were combined like 3 games behind the other, then like, okay, it's all competitive. But if there's like a 6 or 8 game gap, that's when it's like, well, this team doesn't really need to be here, do they? But I don't know. Like you said, it does make the end of the season and having to play games more meaningful at the end for some teams that they typically wouldn't have. But once we get to this point, I think it's more of just if you're the top 6, you get a week off. So just take it and shut up.
Fine. Then they should, you know what they should do with this week off? Then they should have the bottom 4 teams play a tournament for the number 1 overall pick. That's what they should do.
Ooh, that would be fun. Okay.
Give that's 4 teams right here. Instead of the bottom 4 of the playoffs, we'll do literally the bottom 4 of the league. And you have to go earn that number 1 pick. You want Cooper Flag? You want Wembanyama? You better go win this tournament. I'm just saying, there's nobody, like, tell me who's like, I really think the Heat might be able to do it this year at the 10 seed. If they can beat the Bulls, who are trash, and then beat the Hawks or the Magic, whoever, they really have a chance against Cleveland. No, they don't. No, they don't.
Not at all.
Nobody does. Not 8, not 7, 8, 9, or 10. Nobody they just don't. Now, I understand the 7 through 8 is what it is. That's how it's been.
Yeah.
Top 8 teams. But why is it that more of a league makes the playoffs than misses it? That's just, it seems like a participation trophy at this point. Like, oh, you tried this year? Okay, you could come try to play then too. Like, no, you weren't good. That's what I love about football. Division winners and a couple wild cards. Everyone else can kick rocks.
Yeah, no, true. It is.
Even more so in baseball.
Yes, for sure in baseball. But again,
that's what I'm saying.
It's giving the end of the season more of a spice to it for the league itself. And it's obviously now we got a sponsorship for the play-in tournament, so there's more money dived in there. So there's just a lot of things the league is just about the money, let's be honest, at the end of the day. But I like watching basketball. So regardless of what matchup it is, even if it is the Mavericks and Kings in the West or the Heat and the Bulls, if it's on TV, I'm going to watch it. So
you know what? I'm doing all this complaining. It's not like I'm not going to watch the games tomorrow on Wednesday. So
exactly.
You're not wrong. Okay, so to wrap this up, because it doesn't really matter that much who win these 9-10, what do you have as like the final 7-8 for East and West?
So when it comes down to it, I think it's going to be the Magic. I think they win against the Hawks and take the 7. And then for some reason, I feel like the Bulls are going to beat the Heat and then beat the Hawks. The Bulls have been hot since the All-Star break. We had that weekend against the Lakers where they beat them twice in LA by a lot. And
Giddy made a fucking,
yeah. So I don't know. I feel like Chicago's got something kind of brewing. They've been hot this last couple months, so maybe they'll be able to sneak in at the 8. But then they're going to have to play the Cavs, and that's not going to go very well anyways. So
cakewalk. Actually, I really like your thing. Actually, that's a pretty good one because I wasn't sold on the Hawks, so I was waiting to see what you were gonna say. I was gonna pick either Heat or Bulls too to come after it. I'm with you. 7 will take, or Magic will take the 7 seed.
Yeah,
but I think I'll ride with you on that one too. I think Bulls. Let's say Bulls upset the Hawks. In that 9-8 matchup for the 8 seed. Okay, what about the West Coast then?
Well, I see the Warriors. Like I said, I don't think the Grizzlies. I mean, the Grizzlies might hang for a half, but I feel like the second half, Steph and them are going to take over and try to get some rest. At least a quarter before they have to go on the road for Sunday. As far as the East, I don't know, man. It's just Mavericks Kings, man. Mavericks Kings. Okay, I feel like the Kings are at home. Mavericks have kind of been all over the place. AD has one good game, and against Sabonis, his rival that he can't beat typically.
That's what I was going to say. He took it out of my mouth.
I think I'm going to go Kings win the 9-10 game, and then they will beat the Grizzlies because I just don't think the Grizzlies have anything left. So I feel like the Kings are going to get the 8 and have to go to Oklahoma City. Ouch, that sucks.
Yeah, that's good. I'm going to be partially with you. I'm actually with you on Kings beating the Mavs. That Sabonis AD matchup, although he did get the monkey off his back in a sense while he was with the Lakers, he did. I think they won 2 games actually.
Yeah, last year.
But it was at least one. But I do think that the Kings take this one. However, I think the Grizzlies are going to be able to kind of bounce back. They still have a lot of talent. But Jaren Jackson and Desmond Bane and still Ja Morant, depending on which grenade he's throwing out that day, they still are really good. They just have no focus. Their coach was just fired. I get all those things. But I just think the talent kind of will win out because the Mavericks are just reeling, bro. Everybody seems their best players are all tall. Yeah. Gafford, Lively, and AD. I mean, those are like their 3 best players, arguably, unless you're counting Spencer Dinwiddie coming off the – I mean, I just – starting to reach at this point.
If they still had Kyrie healthy,
of course,
but without Kyrie and no real guard to like get, because you can't run the offense through AD without a guard to get it to him. So
correct.
He's not a monster. He's not demonstrative enough to go get the ball. You have to give it to him.
So not a big like Giannis who will bring the
Yeah, so I feel like that's where they're, and again, the 3 big guys is great, but if the Kings are going to be shooting threes all day from outside and you can't guard them because you're too big and you're in the paint, they're going to outshoot you all day. So, and if you think about it too, also battle of interim coaches, Doug Christie for Sacramento,
which is crazy to think about that he played there. So good for him.
So if Sacramento gets to Memphis and we get to see that could be 2 interim coaches battling for maybe their jobs.
True. Be interesting to see. All right. So to wrap up, Corey and I both have Magic 7 and Bulls 8 in the East, and we both have Warriors 7. He has Kings 8. And I've got Grizzlies 8 in the West.
Oh man, that West is a gauntlet. Whoever
100%
there, man. Whew, that's a lot of teams. That's some good teams you're gonna have to get through. Yikes.
So we'll throw up kind of like what it looks like. This is just a screenshot from NBA.com. Obviously, the play-in games still have to be played, but this is just kind of see what the bracket looks like in general. We don't want to go through all of these, who we think is going to win. It's very early. We have a week until these even start. Today's Monday the 14th. They don't start until Saturday, so a long time, but here is the list. What we do want to do is kind of talk about a couple of the series. We're going to let's start with maybe what series are you looking forward to watching the most? Obviously, I know you're really looking forward to the 7 Celtics. Whoever wins the 7 seed in the Celtics, I know that one's at the top of your list, but maybe a different one.
Yeah, that's weird because we talk about how good the West is, but for some reason, this one series in the East kind of gets me in the first round. I think the Bucks-Pacers series. Bucks are the 5, going to Indy at the 4. they do not like each other. They played each other in the in-season tournament the first year, and then ultimately Indiana beat them to face the Lakers in the title game.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
This past year, Milwaukee was on a mission to beat the crap out of them when they played them again to get to the in-season tournament. So Milwaukee won it this year, and they've just had some some little things throughout the season. Every time they play, there just seems to be a little bit more bickering, a little bit more physicality. So for a whole series of this, and without Dame in it, at least I haven't heard anything about him coming back with the blood clot stuff. So Tyrese Halliburton should be running up and down the court, but so should Giannis with Milwaukee. Milwaukee's got some guys that have been there from the title team, so there's more experience. Although Indy was in the conference finals last year too, so there's a lot going on. But even though it's a 4-5,
barely, I don't know how they made it there.
Yeah, Milwaukee winning the series wouldn't be like a shocker or a big upset because of 4-5. But I don't know. I just feel like the tension between them and the animosity might boil over a little bit. We might get some pushing and shoving, maybe a couple tees, and maybe make it a little more interesting in a series in the East than we anticipate for the first round.
I actually like that you picked the one from the East because there isn't much that's interesting in the East, and you honestly made a bunch of good points. So the fact that it'll be at least a close series is something.
Well, at least we hope.
You know what? You're right. We don't know. True. Good point.
All right. So which series, since I'm taking Bucks Pacers in the first round, looking forward to? What's the one you're looking forward to?
So the one that I'm looking forward to the most isn't set, but I think it's going to be set. We both predicted it's going to be set. So we'll talk about this one, but then I have another kind of like backup, I guess. And I think it's going to be Warriors Rockets. This is this young up-and-coming good team, defensive-minded first, against the veteran but newly retooled offensive-minded first, but can play defense, Warriors. Yeah. So I think it'll just be like a really good battle. Ime Udoka is a good coach. Steve Kerr is a good coach. There's talent all around, albeit a lot more of the top-tier talent, proven talent is in Golden State. I think the series would be really, really interesting. I mean, really, the teams are separated by like 4 games, 2 and 7 seed. I think it's 52 wins and 48 wins for the 49. So I mean, talking about 3 different. I mean, they're so close, really. It's 2-7 because the West is insane. So that one's probably the biggest one, just because I used to root for the Warriors, and I'm super curious to see what the Rockets do in this new young vibe they've got.
One thing to keep out on that series, if it does happen too, is Udoka coached the Celtics when they lost to the Warriors in the finals. So there's some
I almost said that, but I didn't know that. I'm glad you brought that up.
So, coaches will know each other and, kind of know how each other try to change things and adapt and change plans maybe. So something to keep an eye out as far as the chess between the coaches.
I mean, you don't have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown out there for you, but you know what? Ausar Thompson and Jalen Green are good too. So, but the other one, I think this one is a guaranteed matchup. Obviously, I think Clippers Nuggets, bro. I think Clippers Nuggets is going to be good. The Clippers have been sneaky good. They've had the best record in the NBA since March 5th. I know that's a very specific date, but I just remember seeing that on First Things First earlier. And that's a little over a month. So they've got the best record in the NBA over the past month or so. And they're just hot, dude. A healthy Kawhi, again, watching that game last night, he looks really good. And James Harden dropping almost 40. Now, that wasn't technically the playoffs. So until he starts dropping 40 on a nightly basis, I've seen him drop 40 in the playoffs. It's just what happens the next game he drops 9.
Yes.
So
also, let's be honest, like we kind of do this every time since Kawhi's been in LA. Like, ooh, the Clippers are good. They're looking hot. They're looking healthy. And then something happens and they're out in the second round. So I don't want to get too far ahead as far as them winning it, but I am with you. I think this is going to be a great series. Them and the Nuggets know each other very well. Russell Westbrook's on the Nuggets. He was on the Clippers last year. So, who knows how much he'll play because they fired their coach. And apparently that was partially because of too much Russell Westbrook on the court.
Yeah, I saw that, right. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to be very interesting, but I think Jokic is going to be kind of nuclear and on a mission to at least get out of this first round, if not try to make a real run to the conference finals.
He's the only way they do it, so he better be on a fucking mission.
And Kevin Porter or Michael Porter Jr. better be ready. Aaron Gordon better be ready. They're not going to necessarily stop Kawhi, but they're going to have to try to slow him down or make it harder. And then Christian Brown's going to have to do the same thing on James Harden and not get, bitten into all those fouls that James is always trying to draw as well. So there's a lot of things that are going to go on in this series. Zubac versus Jokic. I know he's not going to stop him, but could he slow him down and make it harder? Absolutely.
He does. He's a big body, bro. Zubac is way underrated. I'm super pissed that we got rid of him a long time ago.
Or Mike Muscala and Michael Beasley. I don't want to talk about it.
Both of which we don't even have. We didn't keep any of them.
No, we did not.
It's a waste. But whatever. Okay, so those are good ones, and I might bring this up again, but let's continue. The last thing that we kind of want to talk about here, at least for the first part of the playoffs, again, we'll retouch on it as it gets deeper into the playoffs. Is give me a team, Corey, that you think can actually make a surprise run. Maybe not a full run. Okay, at least an upset of first round, or maybe a run.
Okay, upset of first round, and and you kind of mentioned it. It's not really an upset because of how close the records are, but based on the seed number and the lower seed number winning, it's the Warriors beating the Rockets. The Rockets have been good all year. They've been in the top 4, I think, if not the entire season, damn near. And then they kind of faltered and had a rough part where the Lakers were able to get that 2, but then within 3 weeks, it swapped right back up, and Houston's been hot. Udoka's a great coach. They play defense. So the Warriors, but again, they're so battle tested, and just know what to do and what to expect in every aspect of a playoff game, that they could easily win this series. And again, it wouldn't be a shock based on the pedigree or the roster name on paper, but the 2 and the 7 part is what's going to catch everyone's eye if a 7 beats a 2. But it kind of could be like the Lakers they did 2 years ago when they made that run and beat Memphis. They were a 7 seed, but they were a much better 7 seed than paper would say.
True, very true. Yeah, that's probably the best point that you could make is the comparison to that team, the Lakers team. Yeah.
All right. So then, if are you doing first round, or do you have a team you think can make a run all the way to the final?
Yes. How about that? Yes? I got actually one for both. So let's go with my first round surprise, because we haven't talked about this team. I think people are underestimating a little bit the Detroit Pistons. Detroit basketball. The 3-6 matchup. They're playing the Knicks. They are 3-1 against the Knicks this season, in the regular season. The only game they lost, they got the crap beat out of them by 30, but they've won every other game. A couple of them none of them by double digits. So they've won all the close games. The Pistons have won all the close games against the Knicks. Both of them in New York, they've won. And they split the games at home, and the 3-1 this season. So it's possible. They've got a really young team. Malik Beasley, who couldn't make a shot in this color, decides to make everything in his new color. And Tobias Harris.
Frustrating. My God.
It's so irritating, bro. It's so irritating. Tobias Harris is looking really good as the veteran who everyone clowns on, but somehow is constantly winning. I remember he was on a team last year. How are they doing this year? Oh, yeah, that's right. They're 5th worst record in the league. Okay, so maybe Tobias Harris is a lot better than we all think. Again, I know it's not only him, but this team is really good. So I think that the Pistons could upset the Knicks in the first round. The Knicks are they have all the top talent. I mean, I'll throw Cade at the top. He's obviously really good. But if you had to pick, 1 through 5, I'd say probably 3 or 4 of them are probably from the Knicks, and only 1 or 2 if you're pulling from Detroit. So, but I do think that they have the ability to beat them. They did so in the regular season. So that's my first round surprise. I doubt they make it any further than that, because as the 6th seed, they would then have to play the Celtics, and I think the Celtics are repeating. So,
well, I'm with you as far as the Pistons are going to be a good team and competitive. They're not going to get swept in the series, and if they do, it's going to be 4 very close games. And it's funny because I only think it's funny that you picked them, because at the beginning of the season, I think it was that first month, the Lakers lost to the Pistons. You're like, I can't believe they lost to the fucking Pistons. They suck so bad. I'm like, I don't think the Pistons are as bad.
I do remember saying that.
And then as the season went on, I was like, that loss doesn't look so bad anymore. Just considering like they're only a couple wins behind the Lakers. They were 44, 45 wins. So
yeah, no,
not that
you're
bad.
right.
And they have a good, nice core. Jalen Duren at center is a huge dude who's going to be a problem for a while, with Cade Cunningham there too. JB Bickerstaff has done a huge turnaround with that that team, having been there his first year from where they've been the previous 2. I'm with you. I'm not even. I would not be shocked if the Pistons do it. Plus, the Knicks play everybody 8,000 minutes this game every season, and
that's what I'm saying.
Playoffs, so this could be that run.
That's what I'm saying. So that's how I kind of see it. It's a possibility. If I have to pick something, I think it's a possibility at least.
All right. Now, I know I don't have a surprise run all the way, but you said you might have a surprise. Who you think?
Yeah, I do. And I'm going to take it back to this team. I really don't like talking about this team that much. It's my second least favorite team to talk about. But something about the Clippers, bro. They're just really hot lately. And this is why. I have a feeling they can beat. If there's anybody, like I'm going through the centers on the West. Okay. If there's anybody who's big enough to bother, I'm not saying he's going to stop him, because nobody can stop him. If there's anybody that's big enough to bother Nikola Jokic, it's probably Ivica Zubac. Mm-hmm. So, and he's been turning up. He got his first career triple-double the other day. He's been getting
games.
Yeah, dude, he's been doing really well. So he's playing smart. Ty Lue's got him dialed in. He knows his role. He knows exactly what he's supposed to do. And then you got Killer Kawhi, and the caveat here is what James Harden shows up, obviously, but with Kawhi, Zubac, Ty Lue here, and they got just a grip of just great players, just great gritty players. Chris Dunn and Jared Jones Jr. Yeah. Norm Powell, all these guys, they just know how to play. So I looked at they're 0-4 against the Thunder this year, but they only had one game where they had Kawhi. They lost by 2, and they had the ball at the end of the game. I remember watching the highlights of that. They had the ball with like 10 seconds left, and they just missed the shot. So they play them close with Kawhi again. They lost the other 3. Kawhi wasn't there. It's a completely different team, obviously, as you know, with Kawhi Leonard. So I'm going to give them a running chance. And the reason why I say that is because I think they can get through, again, Denver, maybe giving Zubac. And if anybody's going to have Kawhi Leonard, quiet little Kawhi, lock down Shea. What else are they going to do if Shea's locked down?
Dude, could you imagine if after all these years of them sharing a building and we might play each other in the playoff, and then they move out of the building and now we might get a Lakers-Clippers Western Conference final as a
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. I don't think it's going to happen. But
I don't think so either, but it would be the first freeway series in the playoffs in the NBA for us here in LA. So that would be crazy. I'm sure Ballmer would be stoked to have it at his arena into a dome.
Mm-hmm.
So, but hopefully that
is a great arena.
Hopefully it's Lakers and someone else.
Yes, agree. I don't have to worry about it. So, but that's pretty much the beginning of the NBA playoffs. Again, appreciate everybody for sticking with us in that drought there, but we are back for now. I have one more note. I wrote this at the beginning, but I forgot to bring it up. I just think it's hilarious.
I was waiting for this.
Thank you. Okay. I just think it's hilarious. Okay. Maybe some of you have seen this, but this is a funny stat. The Phoenix Suns. We haven't talked about them because, well,
highest payroll in the NBA, right?
I don't know, but probably. They got 3 $40 million guys. So it's a good start to have the highest payroll. Actually, close to $50 million. Yeah. They are the only team that is not in the whole NBA, that is not in the playoffs, that is not in the play-in, or the draft lottery. They have absolutely nothing this offseason. They're not hoping for a playoff.
They fired their coach today. So they don't
and they fired their coach, right. They also still have those 3 $40, $50 million players under contract for next year. So they are in a tight one for building out a roster. Good job, Ishbia. Way to take out the Suns. Yeah, nice.
Dude, Ishbia and the people who own the Mavericks, they should just be hanging out and being best friends. You're just coming in at a team on the rise and you're totally blowing it up and ruining it. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, Ishbia tried a little bit more but I see your point. Yeah, but I see your point.
That's madness.
It's not good. It's not good. Well, let us know in the comments below. Did your team make the playoffs, or are they having to battle on the play-in, or are you getting ready for draft day, or are you a Suns fan? You're not getting ready for anything.
And what first round series are you looking forward to the most? I know we talked about ours. Let us know on Twitter and Instagram at RViewFTB. And also, before you sign out, just to let everybody know, we're working on some things on the background. We're going to have some more interviews coming up with some different people from the different aspects of the sports world, not necessarily on the field itself, but we're working on some things for May. So just keep an eye out, and remember, follow us or hit that notification bell so you know when a new episode comes up.
Exactly. Or Steph Curry, LeBron James, if you ever want to be interviewed, we'd love to have you guys on too.
Oh, yeah.
Just throwing it out there. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Thank you as always for seeing things from RV from the bench. I'm Brendan.
I'm Corey. Like we always say, enjoy the sports until we talk again.
Peace.
This was a Sycamore Fourth Studios production.